Michael Chandler has fired back at Dustin Poirier going off on him this week. Dustin labeled Chandler as a cheater and said he's fake.
He's fake, bro. And he might be a good person at home, but my personal experience, he's fake, man. And he's a cheater. And then, dude, bro, I could go on for days. I get so amped up about this.
Michael Chandler has responded to that clip and says that he lives rent-free in Dustin's head. He went on to say, "I don't have a reaction, and I don't lose a wink of sleep thinking about Dustin Poirier and how he thinks about me. Unfortunately, obviously I live rent-free in his head, and he does lose sleep over me, so I don't think about it. I'll tell you what, man, I would definitely welcome me being Dustin's retirement fight. He's a legend, and I say that because he's a legend. It's not like I want to get back the loss, or it's not because I have any kind of animosity. I don't want to fight him because of the disagreements that we've had. I just want to fight him because he's a legend, and I would. So we'll see. I'll heal up after April, after I starch Paddy Pimblett, and he's talking about fighting in July, August. I wouldn't mind going to New Orleans at that time of the year. Either way, I'm coming to fight. I'm going to be there for his retirement fight out of respect, but I wouldn't mind stepping in the octagon with him. We'll see." Fight announcements. The GFL has officially announced that Tony Ferguson will be fighting Dillon Danis. However, the date is to be determined. They posted the fight poster on their social medias and wrote, "You asked, we listened. Our most requested bout is now official as Tony Ferguson squares off with Dillon Danis in a legendary lightweight matchup. Who you got?" Justin Gaethje is determined to bounce back from his knockout loss to Max Holloway. Ahead of his rematch against Rafael Fiziev at UFC 313 next month, Gaethje says he believes with a strong performance, he'll be fighting Islam Makhachev for the belt in the future. On the Jim Rome show, Gaethje said, "I've had 20 knockouts out of my 25 wins. It comes with the territory, and we have seen different people go different ways. We saw Alex Pereira getting knocked out cold like I did, come back and he's been on a tear. I'm excited. I'm excited to be scared again. I think that's something that kind of goes away as you get older and wiser. You think you know everything, and you kind of forget the most important thing, that this is so dangerous. And whenever the danger is not real, I think your body doesn't know what it needs to do in these situations. And being that this is going to be a very scary fight, I know that I'm going to go to a very primal place, and all the adrenaline is going to be rushing through my veins, and I'm excited about that. That's a special feeling." On the last time he's been scared, Gaethje continued, "I think Charles Oliveira. Not scared of him. I think I was scared of the opportunity. Such a big fight for the belt. I really wanted to be successful, and you really sometimes put too much pressure on yourself. Part of the reason I do this is to inspire people, and I really want people to understand that I'm not special. I just love what I do. I've worked so hard. I've committed my life to this, and this is just a testament to either getting back on the horse or giving up, and in my blood and in my mind, there's never been an option. So I'm excited to go in there, show people that it doesn't take someone special. It just takes self-belief and hard work. I've been such a fan of this sport because of the variables, that anything at any time, and I've embraced that part of the sport. I focus on the things I can control, which there's not a lot, and then I really just buy into the fact that I'm playing a crazy game and I'm a crazy person. The good thing is I only have to be crazy once or twice a year, and I could just be a golfer the rest. But this is something that's special to me. I've worked my whole life, committed my whole life to this, and I'm not going to take my foot off the pedal now. It really doesn't matter who it is. Timing is everything in this sport. We saw with Dustin Poirier. I beat him and then he fought for the belt right after that. And I think the timing is going to line up well. I go out there and get a finish with an outstanding performance like I always do. I think I'll be one of the guys that they consider to fight Makhachev." Merab Dvalishvili is out here doing side quests. He sent in an audition for a music video this week.
Merab just auditioned for our music video.
Hello, I am Merab Dvalishvili.
That's the bit.
UFC bantamweight champion, and I will be auditioning for Who We Are music video. And I love dancing much as I love fighting.
What the hell? Yo. What? What?
Kamaru Usman isn't losing any sleep over the possibility of Belal Muhammad vacating the welterweight title to pursue a middleweight showdown with Dricus Du Plessis. He dismissed the idea entirely, claiming Belal hasn't accomplished nearly enough at 170 to justify a move up. Usman also made it clear that he's not stressing over his own place in the title picture, stating he believes his star power outweighs any contender in the division. He's confident that all he needs is one victory, and he'll be fighting for the belt again.
If Belal wants to go up to and fight DDP, then he vacates the title. Who cares? You know, he hasn't gone through the division to say, hey, I want double straps. No one cares. You know. But and this is not me trying to hate or anything or say anything negative about him. I'm not saying anything negative. If he wants to do that, that's fine. He can do that. But you know, there's a plethora of guys there. There's all these new guys coming up. You've got JDM, you've got Sean Brady, you've got Joaquin Buckley, you've got Ian Gary if he's able to get back up on the winning column again. So yeah, and then you've got, don't forget, Jeff Neal and is on that short list as well. You've got the Nightmare, Carlos Prates is on his way up. You've got Marias, who will be fighting Burns as well soon. So there's guys coming that you haven't really gone through the division. But for me, to answer your question, Henry, as where does that leave me? Henry, with every one of those guys that I just mentioned, I am still bigger name than every one of them. And this is not me not being any way. I'm still the bigger name than all of them. I'm still there at the top 3 of the division. I go in and I beat up somebody. I mean, there's, for the company's perspective, for my perspective, for our champion's perspective, whoever has the belt at that time, I think we all know who the right pick is to fight for that title. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'll just wait for my shot when it's time for me to go in there and spin again. I'm gonna go in there and spin, you know? If you want to win, put Booby in.
Henry Cejudo is still visibly frustrated by Dana White's recent comments following his technical decision loss to Song Yadong. Cejudo believes that Dana implemented he quit by informing officials that he was seeing double after suffering an eye poke in the 3rd round, a decision that ultimately led to the fight being stopped. In response, Cejudo jokingly says that he wants to fight Dana next. He feels like Dana lacks understanding of what fighters endure inside the cage, particularly when dealing with an eye poke mid-fight.
Like I said, dude, luckily it hit the white part of my eye, but that's the same reason why I'm still seeing like a lot of those glitches, dude. Okay. You know, but you know, what can we do, man? You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. I gotta suck it up, take it in the chin, and just see what the UFC has next, dude. You know what I'm saying? Unless they cut me.
No way. There was no way. My question was gonna be, my last question is right now, who do Henry Cejudo wants next? I don't care about Dana White saying, I don't care about the UFC. Who do you want next? You want to run it back? What do you want to do next?
I want to fight Dana White, bro.
Not so easy.
I hope Dana can take his promoter hat and be a fighter for a day, so he understands like this game that we play. There's already been one of his fighters who have lost an eye. You know what I'm saying? So I think I was talking to my wife yesterday about it, and she was saying, dude, there's a bigger purpose behind all this, Henry. Like, how can you make a difference? Because I'm on my way out, guys. Like, I may just have one more fight left, bro. You know, I want to leave this sport unscathed if possible, even though it was accidental. But the more probabilities that we get as fighters in that octagon, the more that we can leave like damaged goods. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a bigger purpose behind this, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've had people who have lost eye. We've had people who have gone through, you know, through a lot, through injuries. But how's it that we can make this sport just a little safer for our athletes, dude, and the accountability side? How can we make officially a rule where if you poke somebody's eye, whether it was accidental, you still did this?
Chael Sonnen agrees with the idea that Ilia Topuria should face a top contender at lightweight before earning a title shot against the champion Islam Makhachev. Chael expressed interest in seeing Topuria tested against either Charles Oliveira or Arman Tsarukyan as his first challenge in the division. On his YouTube channel, Chael said Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan are in a battle, and the battle is for Ilia. Charles is not likely to go right into a title fight against Islam. The only reason I say that is Islam wants some fresh blood. Ilia is not going to get a title shot, even though he would fit the request of being fresh blood. You've got Ramadan. Ilia is vacating, and no mention of Ilia. It would look as though Ilia is going to have to do a fight first. Ilia versus Islam right now works, but it's not a massive fight. However, Ilia versus Islam, if Ilia defeats Charles first, is a complete other conversation. It can't go right now. You've got to have Ilia prove that he can do it, and that either takes you through Tsarukyan or it takes you through Charles. Ray Longo and Jon Anik recently debated the real reason behind Ilia Topuria's decision to move from featherweight to lightweight, and Longo says he knows the truth. During their discussion, Jon Anik expressed doubt that Topuria's move was due to weight-cutting issues, suggesting there may have been other factors at play. However, Longo quickly corrected him, revealing that Merab Dvalishvili, a close friend of Topuria, personally told him that Ilia admitted that he could no longer make the featherweight limit.
Well, listen, I think with Topuria, it's just a matter of fact he can't make the weight anymore, and he feels comfortable at 55. He's not ducking anybody. He's not,
I don't think that's what it is.
I mean, Merab told me that months ago. He said Ilia's not making the weight anymore. I mean, that's what he told me. So I got to go by his word. And, yeah, I think that's the end of the story. I think people are going to start to read into it and come up with whatever narrative they want. But, it's like Aljo. Aljo did not want to make that 35, man. He just didn't want to do it anymore.
So at least you're providing some, legitimate, background, right? Which actually is valuable, right?
Justin Gaethje shares his thoughts on Ilia Topuria moving up to lightweight. Gaethje believes Topuria has the skills to find success in the division, backing the featherweight champion to make a strong impact at 155. Speaking to Shaq MMA, he went on to say, "Yeah, I mean it. There's just no way to say. I think him being a featherweight coming up to lightweight is not a factor. I think we saw that with Max Holloway. The only guy to put me to sleep was a featherweight, so that don't work." Alex Pereira has decided against training with Jon Jones at the moment as a precaution in case they face each other in the future. He explained that it wouldn't make sense for them to train together now, but if a potential fight between them were to happen, he would be open to training with Jon afterwards. In a recent interview with Bloody Elbow, Alex said, "To be honest, I don't think that makes as much sense anymore. Back when I said that I would like to fight at heavyweight, people already put the dots together and basically mentioned Jon Jones. That's something that is speculated, even if it's just by the fans. So I wouldn't want to go and train with him now, and then if we end up fighting, people will start saying a bunch of stuff about whatever in the fight. I think it wouldn't make sense now, but if we were to fight one day and then go train, I think it would make total sense." On Jon potentially fighting Tom Aspinall, Alex continued, "I won't necessarily be studying the fight, but I'd watch it closely. Obviously, any heavyweight fight is already exciting, and then you put in Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. I think that's a very exciting fight, so I'll be watching closely, but as a fan." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from BA2037. It's in reference to Michael Chandler explaining how difficult it is to earn a title shot in the UFC. It says it's hard to get a title shot. Michael Chandler, a contender constantly losing his way into multiple title eliminator bouts. The second one's from Joe King. It's in reference to Joaquin Buckley's message to Belal Muhammad. It says, "Buckley with the most respectful yet vicious promo. Must have been a good workout." And the final one's from Milk. It says, "Man, I'm feeling Buckley. The man is on a mission, and he's proved it in his last few fights." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.